CG, baby. Yeah. Niggas bless the bottle before they bless they self. I'll cheat the game before I play myself. Thought I needed God when I needed help. Dust myself off just to help myself. Fuck it, I bless the bottle. Fuck it, I bless the bottle. Fuck it, I bless the bottle. Drown some of my sorrow. Fuck it, I bless the bottle. Fuck it, I bless the bottle. Fuck it, I bless the bottle. Drown some of my sorrow. Noose around my neck, I guess I'm tired of being successful. Hated this, I guess he bound to die for my respect. Shoestring money short, still ain't making ends meet. Fish eye focus on the point like the lens be. Rather they Keisha than the Lindsay. God with the envy. Sour as simp, please don't rip me. Dark minded, but I sound so positive. I be a fuck nigga if I survive off acknowledgement. Niggas bless the body before they bless they self. I'll cheat the game before I play myself. Thought I needed God when I needed help. Dust myself off, then I help myself. Fuck it, I bless the bottle. Fuck it, I bless the bottle. Fuck it, I bless the bottle. Drown some of my sorrow. Fuck it, I bless the bottle. Fuck it, I bless the bottle. Fuck it, I bless the bottle. Drown some of my sorrow. I wanna live in a mansion. I wanna live in a mansion. I know some niggas be hating, they don't get a mention. Young nigga, I travel dimensions. Baby girl, I am not a Christian. Me and my niggas be simping. Red wine used to fuck up my vision. Don't mind me plotting on the come up anytime I seem distant. If I change up, know you fucked up in the past is distant. I remember days eating sugar bread, Kool-Aid in the kitchen. Now I rolled up eating eggplant, parmesan, and some spinach. And I got gun in compartment. I know that sounding alarming. Somebody call a department. Get the beggar for a pardon. Y'all niggas goofy. GZ, no carpet. Ever since the podcast, I've been feeling my ancestors. I'm the new Marcus Garvey reincarnated. You feel me? Take my people back to the motherland. Yeah, I hold your hand. Yo, what's up, party people, to another episode of Who Asked You podcast. I'm your host, Studi Too Groovy, and today we're going to talk about something wild. I cannot believe my eyes. Yes, the title is right. They have done the world's first anal birth, okay? Yes, it's gotten that bad. The world's first anal birth. How? You might be thinking, why would somebody shit out a baby? Well, I'm going to show you the article because I'm not bullshit, and this is just, it's crazy. So let's read. This came out, let me see. Well, that doesn't matter, but this is like a week old. Same-sex couple celebrates world's first anal birth after successful rectal ovary transplant. Let me read that again, okay? Same-sex couple celebrates world's first anal birth after successful rectal ovary transplant. A Los Angeles same-sex couple has successfully given birth anally to a healthy 8.2-pound baby for the first time in history. Excuse me. Now, that is the location, okay? The location in itself is very, very, very important, all right? Los Angeles, we all know that they just passed legislation to allow younger children to be sexually involved with adults, okay? So think of this scenario, right? What if they try to make these transgender operations, right, include the ovaries in the rectum, and then little boys would literally have ovaries in their rectum, okay? Like this is just getting out of control. And yeah, your eyes do not deceive you. Here go two crying men with a baby in their hands. And same-sex couple celebrates world's first anal birth after successful rectal ovary transplant. I still can't believe that this is real, okay? The LGBTQ community worldwide has received the news of the rectal birth with open arms, as the revolutionary medical procedure could enable millions of fertility-challenged couples to procreate. They are acting like this is just phenomenal. This is like sick, twisted, and wrong. But I'm gonna get into where they actually get these ovaries from. Okay, let me continue. James Bent, 37, received donated ovaries from his sister Lila Bent, 32, which were later successfully transplanted into his rectum, which enabled the anal birth to occur. And that is just literally the sickest. Like I cannot be unbiased with this, okay? This is not time for unbiased journalism. This is the sickest shit I've ever put my consciousness through. Like you let your sister transplant her womanhood into your canal? Are you serious? That is beyond incest. That is just wrong, okay? But let me continue. He says, I am so grateful to my sister and to God for making this natural birth a reality, not only for us, but for the millions of male same-sex couples which will follow in our path, James Bent told reporters in tears. Now, this is the most vital sentence ever in this whole entire thing, because I'm about to break it down, okay? It's really an ancestral exchange, okay? She's taking her natural vaginal parts and putting it in her brother's butt, okay? So that's number one. The only God that I can think of that he talking about has to be Satan, has to be Baphomet, because the natural order God, the universe, the universal energy of good, balanced energy, would never go for that, okay? And it's not a natural birth. You're pooping out a baby. Like that's not natural. And I'm not trying to be sick and nasty, but wouldn't his like asshole get ripped? Like I'm not trying to think about it, but it's just like I just got so many questions on that. And this is very, very important, which will follow in our path for the millions of male same-sex couples, which will follow in our path. Okay, that's where that's the unnatural step. Okay, that is the unnatural step to this transgenderism, this transgender movement. Like, shout out Roll a Mile. Hey, shout out Rondo 2 Raw. Like, this is like, it's getting sicker and sicker, and people are just letting it rock. Shout out Crown G. They're just letting it rock. Like, this is crazy. Who even thinks to do that? Like, how did that conversation even go? But this is the weirdo who did the surgery. The world's first successful rectal ovary transplant was performed at the California Hospital Medical Center Surgery Department in Los Angeles under the supervision of mad scientist Dr. Peter Krishna Wasti, I guess. He says this medical procedure will not only be useful to male same-sex couples, but also to heterosexual couples where the male partner wishes to experience the process of pregnancy for himself. What right-minded heterosexual would want to experience that? That is for the women. That's for the feminine energy. That is her role. She is the portal to life. Okay, she is the portal to this physical realm. A man does a sane man, a sane heterosexual male would never even think about that. We wouldn't say, oh, well, I wonder what it's like to have birth. So can you stick your ovary up my ass and let me birth the baby? Thank you. No, it does not work that way. It does not work that way. That is sick. And this is, I read something about like the Luciferian doctrine will be ushered in with the premise of love. Like everything, all this Sikhism shit is allowed because it's in the name of love. It's in the, oh, same-sex couples can now have a child. Oh, heterosexual men can now understand what it's like to be a woman. It's all in the name of love, and that's why all this Baphometism and all this craziness is happening in California. There is a reason why California is burning right now. There is a reason why all the demonic energy always goes to California. I'm not a religious person at all, okay? But California is literally Sodom and Gomorrah times 100. All right. I don't think they have the technology to take an ovary and stick it up a man's butt and then for it to like have a, oh my God, this is like fucking me up. Yes, there is a reason. Facts. Like, man, I'm tripping over my words because this is crazy. This is insanity. So any so-called heterosexual man, this is, I have to say this, right? Let's say hypothetically a heterosexual male wanted to understand what it took to be a woman through birth, right? You realize that you have to have semen inserted into your rectum. You have to have a baby grow inside your rectum, your intestines, your anal cavity. You have to push a baby through your anal cavity. That is sick. That is disgusting. That is abnormal. That is wrong. I don't care. I don't care. Like, nothing can convince me that this is right. This is not a medical marvel. This is mad science. This is wrong. Other researchers believe that rectal ovarian transplants could even be performed upon certain animals, such as cows and pigs, in the near future. And that's crazy because they're telling you, oh, we didn't even try this on animals first. We went straight for the LGBT community. They didn't even test it on animals yet. That is nuts. That is nuts. It is not unimaginable that in the near future, fertility challenged couples will be able to transplant their ovaries into the rectum of animals such as cows and pigs and bypass the pointless, painful hassle of the pregnancy process altogether. What? Let me reread that again. let me reread that again. It is not unimaginable that in the near future, fertility challenged couples will be able to transplant their ovaries. How can you be fertility challenged but still use your ovary? Wouldn't your ovary not work? Or wouldn't there be a... Okay, anyways. Transplant their ovaries into the rectums of animals such as cows and pigs and bypass the pointless... birth is not pointless. This is what's pissing me off too. Hold on. I have never seen you in here, Nicole. So welcome to the channel. If you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe and like this video. And thank you for joining us. Nicole says, I hate that they think taking away from women as procreator a good thing. How is that good? That's what women do, not men. This is way too far sickening. That's a fact. You're definitely right, Nicole. It's very sickening and it's wrong. And women, that is their role. That is their birthright to literally be the portals from the spirit world to the physical world. That's them. Okay. And I'm tired of people acting like childbirth and having children is a painful, pointless, like children are a burden on life. We are here to multiply. We are literally like a computer program, learning and enhancing ourselves each time with new codes. Okay? That's a good analogy that I can give. The more we learn and the more children we have, the better versions of ourselves they will be. And they will just continue to grow and continue to get better. You know? We can't do that if we're shitting out babies, okay? That is just so unnatural. That's gross. You know, like there's blood and bile and bacteria and viruses that's like the simplest thing I can say. There's E. coli in our poop. Okay, you really want to bring a child through that canal? So instead of I think the word is embryonic. Yeah, instead of embryonic fluid coming out, you want it to be shit. So you want them to come out of a shit covered sack. Like that's what you want. That's life to you. That, like, come on, man. Come on. That is wild. And I guess this sicko is a researcher at California Hospital Medical Center. It says many analysts believe the revolutionary is not revolutionary at all. A medical procedure performed under the supervision of Dr. Peter Krishnawasti could win the world-renowned surgeon of Nobel Prize in medicine. That's not medicine, though. That is sickism. I'm a just sit this here just so y'all can read it again. Same-sex couple celebrates world's first anal birth after successful rectal ovary transplant. He let his sister transplant her eggs into his ass. Like, that's, I'm not trying to be vulgar and I'm not trying to be funny, but that's just what it is. That's what he did. And that baby surely smells like shit. So while they're crying over a literal shitty baby, like they're and look at this sick, twisted fucker smiling. Like that's nothing to smile about. That is so sick. And how unsafe would that be for the child to come out and be covered in poop? Literally covered in excrement. And how blown, I'm not trying to be funny, but how blown out does this, Gus, it's not, hold on, I'll put this up because that's pretty funny. The baby is probably having a crappy day. That baby is definitely going to be a shitty person when it grows up. That's a fact. What kind of demonic ass energy will that baby have coming from that sick ass vortex of thought? Like, that is nuts. So I'm going to get this off of my screen because it's muy disgusting. But I want to remind people why this situation is very dire for Black people, especially Black women. Well, women, period, but especially Black women. Okay. This article is from Women's Media Center. This was posted February 20th, 2020. Okay. The urgent crisis of missing Black women and girls. Nearly 6 years ago, millions of people across the world, including then First Lady Michelle Obama and the Pope, participated in the viral campaign "Bring Back Our Girls," orchestrated in response to the kidnapping, of nearly 300 young Black girls in Nigeria by Boko Haram. The hashtag sought to bring global awareness to this mass kidnapping. Although many can and did debate the efficiency of this digital campaign, it was heartening to see the world at least appear to care about the abduction of Black girls. In 2017, activists and concerned community members in Washington, D.C. relaunched the Bring Back Our Girls hashtag in an effort to shed light on what appeared to be an epidemic of missing Black girls in the district. Although several Black girls were missing in the nation's capital, it was soon discovered these numbers aligned with those from the previous year. I'm just making sure everybody can see this, okay? Where was I at? The combination of a poorly rolled out police notification system in DC about missing people and a history of neglect and invisibility of missing Black girls formed a perfect storm for a brief, widespread panic about what was happening to Black girls in Washington. As soon as it became clear that there wasn't a spike in missing Black girls, the media moved on and the viral campaign lost steam. But what are the dozen Black girls who were actually missing? It seemed that too few cared about them. The disturbing trend of Black girls going missing continued without any sense of urgency. The harsh reality is that an estimated 64,000 to 75,000 Black women and girls are currently missing in the U.S., arguably due to pressure from activists and advocacy groups such as Black and Missing Foundation, Inc., which documents and brings awareness to missing Black people and growing natural interest in human trafficking. Major news outlets such as CNN ran stories in 2019 about the alarming number of missing Black children and Black women in the United States. Let me see. The tens of thousands of Black women and girls who are missing include abductees, sex trafficking victims, and runaways. Black women and girls exist at the intersection of racism and sexism and quite often poverty. Okay, so, and then it talks about sex trafficking and yeah. So why did I show that? Why did I bring this to the attention? Well, because where are they getting these ovaries from? Okay, that is the big question. Where are they getting these ovaries from? Because truth be told, the birth rate of Caucasian people is lowering. And Black people, we are very fruitful and we have so many kids that's why they have Planned Parenthoods in every hood. That's why they're trying to sterilize people. That's why they're trying to make children seem like a burden because we're having so many. So all these missing Black women and girls, and all of a sudden the transgender movement is booming and bursting, and now they're shitting out babies, literally. Okay? Do you see the correlation? You see, I know you see the correlation. I know you understand. Okay? So I have some more information to give. So I got some statistics to give and some pictures, and then we're gonna head out of here. Thank you for subscribing, Nicole. I just saw you subscribe. Thank you and welcome. Okay, so this is decodedscience.org if you want to look it up yourself. Here you go. I always encourage everybody to research my research because I research the research that I research. Okay, so according to the American Transplant Foundation, 123,000 people in the United States are on the waiting list to receive an organ. Every 12 minutes, a new name is added to the list, and an average of 21 persons per day die due to the lack of organ availability. Corneas, kidneys, liver, lung, intestines, bone marrow are the most common transplant needs. Now, with the whole LGBTQ movement and transgenderism, I'm pretty sure that won't be the case. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services data of organ procurement and transplantation network reports 121,333 currently awaiting organ transplant, of which 100,402 are waiting for a kidney. Only 30,970 transplants actually took place legally in 2015. According to the World Health Organization, America is one of the many organ importing countries, and by the use of the web, aka the dark web, especially, patients can get transplant packages from $70 to over $160,000. Okay. U.S. Today conducted an investigative report in 2006 and found that illegal body harvesting is very lucrative in the U.S. due to high demand of body parts. The investigation revealed that from 1987 to 2006, that's 19 years, over 16,800 families had pursued lawsuits stating that their loved ones' body parts were illegally sold for an estimated $6 million. That amount is based on figures obtained from federal and local investigators, public organizations, and medical universities. Where do the organs come from? Willing donors in some cases. I want to skip down. Excuse me. Unfortunately, many people become victims of the illegal organ trafficking industry as well. And these are the many ways that people get tricked. All right. And then I'm going to move on because I want to show a picture. The next thing we're going to do is look at a picture of an actual ovary. All right. Organ trafficking is a form of human trafficking and is an organized crime. According to the UN Gift Hub, organ trafficking falls into three categories. 1, traffickers who trick the victim into giving up an organ for no cost. 2, con artists who convince victims to sell their organs but who do not pay or who pay less than they agreed to pay. And 3, doctors who treat people for ailments which may or may not exist and remove the organs without the victim's knowledge. Let me read number 3 again because that is very, very important. And how many Black people go to the doctor and leave sicker than they felt in the first place? So let me reread that. All right. Doctors who treat people for ailments which may or may not exist and remove the organs without the victim's knowledge. The organ trafficking trade involves a host of offenders. As the UN Gift noted, there is a recruiter who seeks out the donor. There is a transporter of the organs. There are staff of the hospital or clinic that receives the organs, and of course, the medical practitioners who perform the transplants. There are also middlemen, contractors, buyers, and the banks that store the organ tissues. And remember, they just outed Planned Parenthood for selling fetuses. So this is not far-fetched. This is not far-fetched at all. Decoded, let me see. Okay. Decoded Science interviewed a former transplant clinical researcher for a major hospital who spoke with us under a condition of anonymity. He stated he had encountered cases where people bought their organs from people willing to sell. He shared an experience of an elite Saudi Arabian who arrived at the hospital for a kidney transplant accompanied by a young man he claimed was his brother. Testing showed no genetic match. The researcher later found out that the Saudi elite had paid the young man $50,000 in U.S. money for his kidney. Our source also noted that even though there is a waiting list for organs, favoritism does occur and money can get someone moved up on the list fairly quickly. Ann Cheney, author of Body Brokers Inside America's Underground Trade in Human Remains, stated, "Today we aren't robbing graves, but we are violating corpses. We are failing to carry out donor wishes, and we are putting patients at risk, all because we have been disturbingly complacent about what happens to people's bodies when they die. And I hope that helps you understand that when you put yourself as a donor, you're literally auctioning your body off. Because most of the time, when somebody puts themselves as a donor, they're more likely to die in a car crash. And whoop, a billionaire needs a heart transplant. Boom, you're on the donors list. You didn't put specifications who gets it, or you just donated to science or donated to medical. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. That's the trick of it. So I'm going to show you all a picture of a uterus and the parts of the uterus. And then we're going to talk about how a uterine transplant works. But it'll be women to women, but you can just imagine the same surgery, but being plastered on a intestinal wall, which is gross. So this is the actual female uterus. You got the sigmoid colon, left ovary, right ovary, uterine tube, round ligament of uterus, urinary bladder, round ligament of uterus, uterine tube, and bam. So this is what that man got put into his butt. And like, I'm not trying to, it sounds funny, but it's not really funny. It's really sick. But yeah, that's what his sister took out of her body. So I'm guessing that either she got her whole uterus taken out, or she got like the ovary cut off and then implanted. Either way, it's gross and it's very unnatural. And by the way, this is what y'all meat look like when y'all be eating like chicken gizzards and shit like that. And it's very disgusting. So I'm gonna stop my screen and show another picture before we go into the uterine transplant. Okay, so I looked up some black market prices. Skin is $10 per square inch. Breast milk is $10 per bottle. Feces, you can sell your shit, I guess, for $13,000. Blood plasma is $50. Pint of blood, $337. Your urine is $20 per ounce. Your eggs, which we just saw, is $12,400 an egg. And your sperm is $1,000 per ejaculate. So for some reason, people think that they're just a walking bank and they just sell off their body parts. It's I don't know. And this is the last bit of information I'm going to show you, and then we're going to end this. And before I finish, please like, share, and subscribe. Share this video. Make this viral. This needs to be, talked about. This needs to be shown. So spread this as far as you can, okay? Very vital information, because that is just a peek of what we can look forward to, unfortunately, in the future. And like I always say, if you want to support the channel, head over to www.teespring.com/stores/PRESAP and buy some merchandise. And that's how you can support the channel monetarily. What on earth is a uterine transplant? This is from a modern fertility blog, I guess. modernfertility.com. That's where you can find this information. Dr. Guiliano, sorry, I butchered that name, Testa performed the first successful uterus transplant, resulting in a live birth in the United States, and made Times 100 most influential people list for 2018. The woman Dr. Testa operated on was a patient in one of the country's first clinical trials for uterus transplants, a procedure in which a donor who is done using their uterus or doesn't need it, the organ's primary function is for childbearing purposes, allows it to be surgically removed and transplanted into a recipient's body so they can carry and birth the child. If your jaw just hit the floor, we're right there with you. We picked our, okay, well, I'm going to skip that. Right now, uterus transplants are an option for those who do not have a uterus or whose uterus is not viable for carrying a baby. This might include those who had a hysterectomy or cancer survivors whose uterus was damaged from chemotherapy or radiation. Nothing in that sentence is talking about the LGBTQ community, that's for sure. Keep in mind the surgery is still experimental and only being conducted, as a part of small clinical experiments in the United States at the Cleveland Clinic, University of Pennsylvania, and Dr. Testa's trial at Baylor University. I do not know what year this article came out, but they're wrong. They're definitely wrong. Each of these trials has enrolled fewer than 20 people who meet very specific inclusion criteria like absolute uterine factor infertility, AUI, meaning their uterus is not functioning or non-existent. An estimated 3 to 5% of women of childbearing age, worldwide are estimated to have AUI. If you're a healthy woman, though, as far as I know, I'm going to do some more research because I'm a male, I'm not a female. I'm pretty sure women can have children until like old age. It just depends on their health, that as far as I know. The majority, please correct me if you're a female watching this, tell me in the comments, am I wrong or not? Because I know, just tell me if I'm wrong or not. The majority of the women enrolled in experiment trials have a condition called Mayer-Rokitansky-Kuster-Hauser syndrome, which contributes to AUI. Those with, I would say MERCA, were born without a uterus, but with intact and functioning ovaries. The trials only include women assigned female at birth. The trials only include women assigned female at birth with functioning ovaries and who are interested in having biological children, not rectal sexuals. Okay, and I'm not going to read this whole thing, but of course they find the donor, they prepare for pregnancy, then they have the surgery. Pregnancy and birth. What are the risks and concerns? And now this part is very important because just think of we're going to read what's the dangers for women to have it. So that would be like, wouldn't it be double for a man to get it in their butt? Anyways, in Dr. Johannessen's quote above, she mentions something important: success. In fact, she indicates that it's rare. Right now, only 2 babies have been born after uterine transplants in the United States. Both were part of a trial at Baylor. Because this procedure is so very new, it remains unclear what all the long-term risks are to the babies and mothers, if any. Like all organ transplant surgeries, how the recipient's body will react to foreign tissue is unpredictable. Complications like infection, failed blood supply, or immune system rejection are common. In fact, almost half of the women enrolled in the 10-person trial at Baylor had to have their donated uterus surgically removed afterwards because of an issue. Uterus transplant recipients also require immunosuppressive therapy, medicine that weakens the body's immune system in hopes of it not rejecting the foreign uterus, which can be life-threatening. So when your body knows when there's a foreign object, what it is basically saying, you could die from that. So picture the risk or how many, okay, because I want something to be clear. They said that that was the very first successful transplant in birth. They didn't say that that was the very first. So how many California men either died from this surgery or have a non-functioning uterus in their butt right now? Like, it's insane. Or how many have developed diseases from trying this experiment? That's very important. They're experimenting, mad science experimenting with themselves. And whenever there's a trial, you know that if something is on trial, that means there's trial and error means success and failure, and the failure could be death. Some medical ethics groups have raised concern about these unnecessary risks. After all, adoption and surrogacy are options for those wishing to become a patient. Here's what Dr. Testa had to say about this. I don't have a very intelligent answer. I just understood through this process that I myself had completely underestimated the wish of any woman that I've met thus far to have their own child. I don't know whether there is a price for it. I have no philosophical discussion to add. I just have to say that it was a humbling discovery, and I'm still profoundly touched by it. Dr. Johannesson added that uterine transplants don't exclude adoption or surrogacy. It's just a complement treatment. It's not a complement treatment. It is mad science, and you saying you have nothing to say because you know that the shit is wrong, and you can't think of an excuse why you're doing that outside of, oh, you just want to do it. Of course, costs are a major factor. The ballpark price tag, according to Dr. Testa, is $200,000 to $250,000. No joke. And before I go on to the next section, that is very important. How much money did that couple spend? And what happens to taxpayers when they say it is a transgender's right to have a uterus? What happens then? What happens to the natural born women when they decide that they no longer have a right to their uterus because transgenders have a right to be able to have birth? And you may say that that's extreme, right? Shout out street knowledge. You may say that that's extreme, but it's not, because this is extreme. So you can't say that that is impossible, because this is happening in our time. This literally, the surgery happened last week. Like, this is like right now. So I'm going to read this last little part and then we're going to end it. So what if uterus transplants were to become more routine? Intersex and transgender women have already expressed interest in uterus transplant trials. Individuals in the transgender community have reacted with understandable excitement. No, I don't understand that. To possibilities opened up by successful uterus transplant surgeries. At the 2014 World Professional Association of Transgender Health Conference in Bangkok, which is a really like damn near transgender haven, there was a keynote lecture devoted to uterine transplant as a new frontier in reproductive health care for trans women. Let's call it what it is. They had a conference about how to insert a uterus into a man. Like, that is like... Although uterus transplants will likely only be available to a few women meeting strict inclusion criteria for the near future, it adds one more option for those experiencing infertility and hoping to carry and birth a child, which can be deeply felt personal desire. Mind you, they don't care. Okay. Nobody we live in a world where eugenics is one of the top professions and top areas of study. What is eugenics? I did a whole entire lecture. Please watch it. It's very, very important. It's called Eugenics Revisited. But eugenics is pretty much trying to eradicate unwanted genetics, unwanted races, unwanted genes. Okay? So That's just Steve is crazy. Okay, so that's like I just lost my train of thought. But this is very sick. And like I don't know what does anybody want to hold on, I'm gonna do something different, okay? Because usually when I expound upon things, when I react to things, I don't have people come up here. But please, somebody hit this link. I really want to hear, what do y'all think? What do y'all think on? Y'all don't have to show y'all face or anything. You can just like I'm not showing my face right now, you can do that. But please, somebody come up here and tell me, what do they think about this? Because this is nuts. This is like next level sickism. Like, this is wild. And mind you, we've I don't want to say conscious community, but the intellectual esoteric community have been warning about this forever. We've been talking about this forever. Like forever. And now it's a reality. And I don't know how to take it. So please, somebody hit the link and let me know how y'all feel about this, yo. Because this is wild. This is wild. Like, there is no excuse for that. Shout out in Energy Day Moon. Welcome back, Queen. This is wild. It's crazy. This is some mad scientist shit. And people want to always call you like, oh, you're transphobic. Oh, you're what is it called? Homophobic. You're this phobic, that. I am scared that my black woman might get their uterus snatched because a man wants to feel and pretend like they're a woman. Yes, I am scared of that. You know why? Because I have a mother, I have aunties, I have sisters, I have nieces. Okay? And we all know that black women carry the best genes. Like, they can create any, Oh, you got to run it back. You got to run it back because it is crazy. Energy Day Moon, you have to run it back because this is nuts. Saying, you know what? I'll bring the article back up. And anybody who wants to pop in, they definitely can. I'll bring the article back up. This is nuts. Just to reiterate, you know what I'm saying? Because I cannot believe it. But for real, you gotta go back because I give a lot of information. But same-sex couple celebrates world's first anal birth after successful rectal ovary transplant. This is World News Daily Report. This ain't no conspiracy. This is real deal Holyfield. He pushed an 8.2-pound baby out of his butt. That's crazy. That is crazy. He pushed an 8.2-pound baby out of his butt. Man, that is like... Please, somebody hit the link. Somebody hit the link, yo. I can't be the only one. I cannot be the only one razzled and dazzled by this situation. Like, somebody got to hit the link and tell me how they feel about this. Like, this is nuts. I didn't even think I could talk about this for damn near an hour, but like, this is crazy. Okay, I'm about to bring Blue. Yeah, exactly, Cutthroat. Baller 300. Welcome to the channel. I have never seen you up here. Please like, share, and subscribe if you have not already. And welcome to the show. What's good with it, Blue?
Yo, this shit is fucking disgusting.
Talk
Period.
about it.
These
Yo,
motherfuckers got people having excrement babies.
booty babies.
And they cool and they taking pictures trying to be sentimental with it. Got my like look at this shit. It's it
Yo,
yo. Who wants to do this? Who wants to have that experience? First of all. Two, why are you trying to rob the woman of her God-given right of creation, of being the portal of life in this third dimension? That ain't nobody job but theirs. That's why ain't nobody got the equipment but them. You like the shit is sickening, bro. The shit is very sickening.
it is. There's no excuse for it. Like
None at all.
that is completely satanic. That is completely weird.
It's
That is
ass backwards.
like, literally.
Literally.
Yo, that is nuts. How much money do you think he dropped to do that?
Yo,
Like,
he paid at least 100 bands to have that surgery because I know for a fact they didn't not use expensive anesthetic drugs on him because number one, just like you said earlier, this like that pain is I can't even think of a powerful enough word more than excruciating for
right.
a woman. For a woman in the canal that it's meant to come out of.
Listen.
These motherfuckers using the anal cavity. It's not shit ain't even supposed to be coming out of there for real.
Listen.
Like, yo,
It's
are
so
you like
I'm not trying to be nasty, but sometimes it hurts the shit my goddamn self. So
yo, you
8
hear me?
pounds? 8 pounds? Dog.
No.
Dog.
like Red Daddy said. Nope.
That is like I don't know.
They doing too much, bro. And people are way too stuck in their slumber to point out these motherfuckers are literally trying to play with the fabric of time. They're trying to manipulate you at a cellular level. They're trying to influence you to go along with this catastrophe of a fucking utopia that they think they're trying to build. And it's throwing everything out of whack.
You know what's the sad part about it? There will be a Christian black woman who will say, "You are a bigot. Yep. You are hateful. Yeah, if they want to have kids and there's a surgery for it, they should be able to. You're wicked. You're wrong. You're evil."
And it's because their indoctrination has become more than an indoctrination.
Yeah,
it's literally become their religion. It's become their lifestyle. It's become their history. Like just earlier, I was just having a conversation with somebody on Facebook, and I said, I made a comment. I said, and stop bringing up the Bible like it's a historic encyclopedia. And the retort was, so it's not. And I'm like, nigga, no.
Listen, man. If the nigga who made the surgery can't give a educated reason why he would do something like that, that tells you that it shouldn't be done.
That tells you that he ain't even thought all the way through with having his first successful attempt.
See, but like Energy Day Moon said, I think they've been doing this. and this is just the first one that they make it public.
Oh no, yes. This is they definitely been it like they said.
Perfected it.
They told on themselves in the article. Just like they said, it's been a trial and error phase.
Mm-hmm.
For as long as they need it in order to perfect the process, then they're gonna start to show people, hey, I can do this. Because before you can do a backflip right, you ain't gonna show nobody. You ain't gonna be like, hey, watch this.
You so better not be on camera, busting your head. Yo,
like we not stupid, bro. We just need to wake the hell up, bro.
Nah, it's too late. If you ain't woke by now, then you ain't never gonna be good.
And that's a sad and inevitable truth.
Like, man, the most religious person will try to make this make sense.
Yes. And their biggest defense is gonna be that book.
Yep.
They try to use it to prove itself so much that it's basically like the blueprint for everything. Which is how Homie and them designed it to be. But it's just
look, if your Freemasonic God, right, told you that he burned down a city because men knocked on somebody's door and tried to rape their guest, right? Have homosexual relations with their guest. Why would you think that it's okay for this?
Right.
Like if you really, if religious people really believed in what they perceive these Abrahamic religions to be, they would not be going for this.
Exactly. If they actually read the fucking words.
Well, if they read the words, they would probably put
because this is the thing, and this ain't even a hypothesis. This is I know this for a fact. I have seen this shit through observation plenty of times. Motherfuckers don't read the Bible, even if they say they reading it. No, they take scriptures that they familiar with or they've been recommended, and they read those bitches over and over again. Mm-hmm. The stories they don't read. They don't. The stories is basically their evidence to back up the scriptures and whatever events it is tied to what the fuck they wrote in there. So they're completely sheathed by the gab that was placed on the gab spell that was placed on them by the book and the person who gave the people who birthed them the book. So it's they're not looking outside of the box. They're not aware that they're in a box. They think that the box is. They're not aware of the box.
When your doctrine says that homosexuality is an abomination, but then Jesus loves all his people, no matter what they do, you're one confused mofo. You don't know whether you're coming or going. So you excuse that bad behavior.
You excuse everything that's going to be convenient for you.
So, okay. SS 912er, welcome to the channel. I don't know if you've been here before. I've never seen you. So please like, share, and subscribe, and welcome to the show. SS says, so many questions, bro. So was the Annie used as a test tube incubator, or did the hookup and umbilical cord crazy? Yo, that's a good question. I was just thinking about how did he push that whole, like, did he, because you know they come in a sack, right? So did he like shit the sack out too? And was the baby covered in
what I assume
and, like, you know, so the umbilical cord thing too, yeah, like did they cut it? Like, oh man, what that tree of life look like? Yo, that's sheesh. My bad. Go ahead, bro. My bad.
No.
Man, that's some kegels for your ass, man.
Man. Hey, hey, all the puns is coming? Like,
Yeah, I'm sorry,
flawlessly.
but that is nuts.
But like, I don't know, man. From what they had, from how they was explaining it, it seemed like they just put it in there and then like make it work. But just it's just like any other like science experiment though. Like how the
Yo,
this shit nasty.
listen, my mama was telling me about that P-Land show or whatever it's called on Netflix, where the protagonist is a transgender. So
I've been seeing that being advertised on Facebook too.
Yeah, I tried. Like I saw it on my Stars app, but something told me that I don't want no parts, so I didn't look at it. Like
anytime I see a transgender person on the cover of something, I'm not going to indulge.
I didn't even look that far. I just saw the pink neon lights and was like, okay, this is not for me.
I just seen a dude in woman attire, and he clearly had a beard and a dress on.
Yeah, see, I didn't even see that one.
Yeah, that was like this was on the advertisement, bro.
Oh yeah, I don't
know.
know.
You scrolling, and this is what I scroll by. It's him next to a woman, and they low key got the same outfit on, but I can clearly see his beard. But you know what I'm saying? It's like you said, the neon is enticing. But I'm looking at it like he was the first thing that I noticed. I'm like, yo, this is out of place.
It's wild. Yo, me and my mom was having this conversation. I promise you. We were talking about. Well, I was telling her like kind of like how black women kind of like venerate this lifestyle.
Yeah,
because all I see is black women talking about the show. All I see is black women talking
they think
about
that shit cute, bro.
Yeah, but it's
until
like
they coming after their uterus, until they know
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
they gotta do this shit somehow. Like
I need a lady. I need a mother to come up here. Right, I'm about to drop the link. I'm not getting off of here until I have a woman come up here and tell me how she feel about this.
A mother.
A mother especially, because this is wild. Okay, this is crazy. They're literally trying to take the women out of the. We thought it was bad when they was trying to take the fathers out the household. They trying to take mothers out the household. They trying to take mothers out of the birthing process. What? They said soon you will be able to put your uterus in an animal's butt.
Just listen to that. They're trying to take that so far as to try to get your pets involved, get your entire.
Listen, do you know that slides into bestiality?
Yes,
because then it would be
exactly
a legal reason to allow that.
Then it'll be a legal reason to allow somebody to have feelings for the animal because
my wife is a dog because I inserted my sister's uterus in the. Yo, that's crazy.
You better come on.
That is A. Some A.
Keep that shit right the fuck over that way.
Over there. Because that is, yo. Blue, listen. I'm not trying to be nasty, but it gotta be blue the fuck out. How do you even come from, like, how do you feel good about yourself?
There is.
Yo, I need a female to hit the link. I don't care if a girl is sitting next to you. If you a man, have her come up here and please, I need to hear. I wish Ashay Divine was in here because I know when she see this, I know she gonna go crazy. I know it. I know she gonna go crazy.
She gonna
I need a female's perspective on this because they are literally trying to take you out of the equation. We thought test tube babies were bad. Man. Woo.
I can bro, I can't even see why. Like, why do you wanna commit an unnatural act so bad that you're willing to go through these lengths?
Extreme. No, that's beyond extreme.
Yeah, there's no other explanation but mental illness.
Man, my head hurt trying to understand. Like, that's just... Who just wakes up like, I want to know what it feels like. Yeah, like... Yo, that shit crazy. All right, maybe I can do a part 2 tonight because I know people working and all that, but I need a female.
Yes, just this little excerpt need to be revisited.
Yes,
the first guest need to be.
I'm gonna have a goddamn panel tonight on this. What? I need the intellectual esoteric community in the building tonight. Let's say around 8 o'clock tonight. 9 o'clock when it's late, but you know everybody done ate and everything, and we ready to just pop off. We having a part 2 tonight because this is crazy. I need everybody to please like, share, and subscribe to this video. And when I make the link tonight, inbox me on Instagram at the_real_studio2groovy. If you want to join the panel tonight, and we can talk about this live, but this is crazy. Thank you, Blue, for coming up here and expounding. Shout out to the chat, and I'm gonna try to leave with love and light, but it's a little dark in here. You feel me? It's a little dark, so I'm gonna go ahead and play. Y'all need to run these numbers up too because y'all been like really supporting me, and I really appreciate that. So I'm gonna, just like I started it, I'm gonna end it with my new single, "Bless the Bottle." So I love y'all, and I'll see y'all tonight because it's about to go down again because this shit is just gross. So peace, everybody. STG, baby. Yeah. Niggas bless the bottle before they bless they self. I'll cheat the game before I play myself. Thought I needed God when I needed help. Dust myself off just to help myself. Fuck it up, bless the bottle. Fuck it up, bless the bottle. Fuck it up, bless the bottle. Drown some of my sorrow. Fuck it up, bless the bottle. Fuck it up, bless the bottle. Fuck it up, bless the bottle. Drown some of my sorrow. Noose around my neck, I guess I'm tired of being success. Hated this, I guess he bound to die for my respect. Shoestring money short, still ain't making ends meet. Fish eye focus on the point like the lens be. Rather they Keisha than the Lindsay. God with the envy. Sour as simply don't rip me. Dark minded, but I sound so positive. I be a fuck nigga if I survive off acknowledgement. Niggas bless the bottle before they bless they self. I cheat the game before I play myself. Thought I needed God when I needed help. Dust myself off, then I help myself. Fuck it, I bless the bottle. Fuck it, I bless the bottle. Fuck it, I bless the bottle. Drown some of my sorrows. Fuck it, I bless the bottle. Fuck it, I bless the bottle. Fuck it, I bless the bottle. Drown some of my sorrows. I wanna live in a mansion. I wanna live in a mansion. I know some niggas be hating. They don't get a mention. Young nigga, I travel dimensions. Baby girl, I am not a Christian. Me and my niggas be simping. Red wine used to fuck up my vision. Don't mind me plotting on the come up anytime I seem distant. If I change up, know you fucked up in the past is distant. I remember days eating sugar bread, Kool-Aid in the kitchen. Now I rolled up eating eggplant, parmesan, and some spinach. And I got gun in compartment. I know that sounding alarming. Somebody call a department. He's a beggar for a pardon. Y'all niggas goofy. GC, no carpet. Ever since the podcast, I've been feeling my ancestors through. I'm the new Marcus Garvey reincarnated, you feel me? Take my people back to the motherland. Yeah, I hold your hand.